Take two, where the mic is actually plugged into the camera. So right now we are in Tucson, Arizona in a BLM campground, Bureau Land Management. And one little trick I've learned so far in my car camping career is that you can use your car to cast a little bit of shade in the middle of a sunny desert. You just pop the hatchback and there you have it. All that shade. Of course, you're in luck if you camp near a Starbucks or Coffee Bean. That way you get to start your morning off in luxury. It's a little fun fact. I am choosing my destinations based on where there is an REI store. Well, that's a pretty handy way to navigate your way through a country. Alright, so long hours driving, and for some reason these long stretches of road are like a lullaby. It just makes me so sleepy even though it's morning and I've just woken up, had my coffee. Having a little bit of uplifting music in the background helps a little. I don't know. So after the first day driving, I realized that the sun exposure coming in from the side was just absolutely smashing me. So for $10 at a local window tint store, I got this piece of film, which I'm not gonna stick onto the window because then I have to spend a lot of time removing the glue when I hand in the car. So I just kind of mounted it there. If you put water between the film and the window, sticks a lot better, but I got tired of doing that, so look at that. Amazing. Oh yeah, and every time I step out of the car, I got a little zap when I touch the metal parts on the door. You would think that after a while it wouldn't take me off guard, but no, it gets me every single time. My car is a bit moody.
Welcome to Grand Canyon. It's Fee Free Day today. It's the first day of National Parks Week. Here's a map of the park for you.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the Grand Canyon. Not a lot of shade in these spots. So far during my trip, there haven't been a lot of times where I just sat still and soaked in the moment. A lot of driving, a lot of getting used to things. Just a couple of tips. If you're traveling from the hot desert to the cold mountains, make sure you have sunscreen for the hot areas. Just make sure you have hydrating lotions for your skin, because my skin got really cracked after my first 2 days in the cold and my lips were really chapped. It was unsightly and painful. I hope you're enjoying being tagged along for my road trip so far. I'm trying to take my camera out as much as possible, which proves really hard because, you know, when you're on the go, I don't know if it's an HSP thing, but most of the time I just don't have the energy to bother. Kind of in survival mode these days, but that's okay. I mean, it's an interesting experience. Just trying to figure out where I'll sleep tonight, you know. I've been using an app called Free Roam to figure out campsites or safe parking lots to sleep in at night. And except for a couple of places that were actually closed upon arrival, it's a pretty good resource. I don't know what the big deal is about, honestly. It's just a bunch of rocks and valleys and canyons, and the river runs through it. One of the 7 wonders of the world. I just took a nap in a parking lot at the Grand Canyon, which is technically not allowed, but it was a midday and I really needed a quick nap. So I'm really grateful that worked out. It's amazing how vastly different the scenery is when you're traveling through the state lines, from dry, arid desert to lush green hilltops. This whole experience is not all fun and glamour and great adventures. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of unpredictability and risk. Like driving an hour to a dispersed campsite only to find out that it's been closed down for years. And then you find yourself in the middle of nowhere with no place to sleep. You're completely exhausted and your Wi-Fi is not working. You start hallucinating that the shadows in your window are people walking around your car trying to peek in and see what they can steal when you're soundly sleeping. Most of all, what bugs me is not having a place to keep my stuff, because it's not safe to leave it in the car everywhere. In fact, I found out that the same day that I visited Red Rocks, there was actually a car break-in right before I had gone there. And that could have been me. That's just such a horrible experience to go through. So I find myself restricting myself from certain activities because I don't want to leave my stuff in the car in certain places. And then there's being an isolated, highly sensitive introvert trying to find a climbing partner when she's wandering around the rocks on her own. So I'm sad to say I have not rock climbed yet on this trip, but that might just be about to change soon. What I do to stay fit while car camping, I try to find out if there are things like pole classes in my area. And I also bought a cheap yoga mat so I can keep up with my routine from the YouTube videos that I follow. Because keeping your butt stationary for hours at a time during the day is just not my style. I also get a couple of hikes in here and there. To my absolute surprise, I've been able to sleep really well with the strenuous conditions. Sleeping next to a busy highway with airplanes flying overhead, nothing has kept me up so far. So I don't know what's up with that. I gotta figure that one out. I haven't really come across many other lone travelers, especially female. Most people travel in packs. And I think I get it, because it does get a little bit lonely. And now, 2 weeks into it, I find myself talking out loud to myself sometimes. So perhaps I'm becoming a little bit too antisocial. One thing I'm sad about is that I haven't even made time to sit down and read a book. So I'm really looking forward to more moments of stillness. Let's see if I can make that work for the remainder. I so appreciate you guys tuning in to watch my adventures. And stay tuned for more, because I ain't done yet. Just a heads up, I might actually get some company for a bit. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Leave me a comment if you've ever done car camping before.